What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Today, I wanted to make a video on pain, pain and suffering. It's uh, it's not a very common subject, I guess, or at least for me. Um, it's something I don't really like to talk about personally. Um, but it's one of those things, you know what I mean? It has its hidden pearls or hidden gems, a hidden opportunity inside of it. Um, like it's a blessing in disguise. How another way you could put it, I guess. Um, for me personally, I feel like it's just life, the universe pushing you to change. You know what I mean? It kind of gives you those warnings, little by little. You gotta change, subtle signs. You gotta change. You gotta change. You gotta change. And we don't want to change, or at least I don't personally. It's hard for me to change or to make a complete change in my life. And what happens, I guess, is you don't listen, you don't listen, you don't listen, or me, I don't listen, I don't listen, I don't listen, I don't listen, and it just reaches a boiling point, or the jug gets filled to the brim and it tips over. So when that happens, it's just kind of like it's pretty much rubbed in your face. You know what I mean? The shit's just rubbed in your face, and it's just there. It's just there, and you gotta do something about it, or else it's gonna fucking get worse. Um, the reason I speak on this now is because that's where I find myself in my life, with needing to change, needing to change. Um, but it's a good thing. Like I said, it's a good thing. I haven't always seen it as a good thing. It was in the past because life repeats itself. I've had several cycles like this or similar learning experiences. But before I would drown in it, pain and suffering. It would swallow me up. It would overpower me. And now I kind of see it differently. I see it like an opportunity for growth, for change, for evolving. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It does have a lot of good, positive potential in it, to it. Um, like I'm gonna share my experience right now. Um, I don't really have a job right now. Not many sources of income. Um, and I'm in a I don't know what to do kind of place. And at the same time, I'm at peace, but there's still I don't know what to do. Kind of like living and walking with faith, and faith is blind. Faith is blind. When you walk with faith, you walk by faith and not by sight. So it's trusting the process. It's trusting life. Um, and there is a level or a deeper knowing that it's gonna work out and it's gonna be fine, because everything in life always has worked out and it's always been fine. No matter how difficult or impossible things may seem, they always work out. They always have a good way of working out. Um, but the pain, I guess, is there to stimulate the change. to force the change when like me, you're hard-headed and you don't change with it. So, okay, well, a few things I guess that I'm working with right now or learning. A very big one, and it's the first one is acceptance. Acceptance is very big and very powerful in almost all situations, if not all. You accept something, and it immediately there's a release of tension. There's not that tension. There's not that tension because you're not going against it. You're not like whatever they say. Whatever you resist persists. Well, if you don't resist it, you embrace it. You're just like a relief, like a sigh, like you're breathing again. Because just because of the simple fact that you accepted the situation, it could be the most dire, most shittiest situation. But by simply accepting it, you release the tension. Right off the bat, the tension is gone. It's kind of like accepting this moment. Okay, I'm in a shitty situation. I accept it. I am in a shitty situation. And from there, it's kind of like, I don't want to say going downhill, but that's the first step. Acceptance. Acceptance of anything, of the way things are, right? And from that point of view, or from that perspective, you can move forward instead of drowning in that motherfucking pain, drowning in that motherfucking shit situation, or digging yourself deeper. The next thing I think after acceptance is it has to be the first one. It has to be the first one. Because you're no longer resisting. So the second thing I would say is assuming responsibility is another big one, a big one too. Like I can't blame anybody for anything that happens in my life. Nobody, no circumstance, no experience, no nothing. It's all been me. I am responsible for my life. I'm responsible for anything or everything that happens. I am responsible for everything I have or don't have, or where I might find myself. I'm responsible. I am responsible. That's another big key. It kind of sets you on the second foot, you know what I mean, or the second step, like, okay, I accept I'm in a shitty situation. I am responsible for this shitty situation. Now, what can I do about it? How can I change it? How can I make this better? What can I learn from this? Or how can I make the situation better? You know what I mean? You start asking better questions. And better questions lead to better answers, to better actions, to better everything. It's like a domino effect going in the positive direction. The solution instead of focusing on the problem. So assuming responsibility. I am responsible. I can't blame nobody. There's nobody or nothing to blame outside of me. It's always inside. It's always inside. The outside is a reflection of the inside. That's another key thing. As far as change is concerned, is like I've always kind of, I don't want to say I've always known this, but I've always practiced that the more I better myself, the more I better my inside, my mind, my body, my soul, my heart, my spirit, the better the reflection around me is. You know what I'm saying? Like the better things I draw to my life, the better circumstances, the more life starts smiling at me. The better I get, I guess, right? I'm not perfect, but there's always room for improvement. And so it's a reflection, So with that being said, you change your inside and you will reflect the change in the outside. It's never outside. It's never the case that you could go out and change your exterior. Never. I mean, that doesn't work. How long is it going to last before you realize, okay, I'm still in this shit situation inside? So changing the inside, changing your thoughts, changing your beliefs, changing your inside, internal changes. And this is a whole nother topic or subject, but it's changing the self-image. What do you believe about yourself, right? Do you believe I can't, poor little me, uh, that could never be me? Or do you believe I can, I will, I must? You know what I mean? I was born to succeed. And that's just, I guess, a little bit on the self-image, changing the self-image, the words that we talk to ourselves, the thoughts we think. What input are we throwing in the mind into ourselves every day? What helps me, I guess, reading helps me a lot. It throws my mind like in a positive direction, because it's kind of like I learned something, and it gets stimulated. I like learning. Gratitude always throws us in a positive direction. It just changes the state from being, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, to, fuck, I'm thankful that I have this, and I'm thankful that I have that. As corny as this sounds, affirmations too, positive affirmations. You know what I mean? You throw in the mind positivity, happiness, abundance, prosperity, peace, harmony, bliss, generosity, happiness, illumination, inspiration, and training the mind to think in that direction. And what you sow is what you reap. So the more you start sowing that, the more you'll start reflecting that out here, right? I was the other day, a friend of mine, but in reality he's a mentor of mine. He was talking, and he told the group, he said miracles are everywhere. He said miracles are everywhere, every single day, in everyday life. He said just sometimes we have to take a magnifying glass. It takes a magnifying glass to find them. You know what I mean? To find them. And I think that's very profound, very deep, because that's true. And the more you start doing that, the more you start looking for the miracles in your life. It's kind of like you could start training your mind to find the positive and the miracles and the great things in life. And that's how it will be, which so is what you reap. And I guess I drifted off a little bit, but it's part of the same thing. So acceptance, assuming responsibility, changing yourself to project a better, bigger, brighter exterior, I guess. And taking action, no matter how big. If it's one little tiny step every single day, just do it. If you know it's going to better you, just do it. It becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth, drinking water. And taking the steps. I mean, I know exactly what to do. You know what I mean? I know exactly what needs to be done. We all do. And it's just taking those little steps that we need to take, walking towards that direction that we need to be walking to. and you take the first step and it starts unfolding. It starts unfolding. It's kind of like that building momentum. The more you take, the you just the domino effect, the snowball effect, and that's how it is. That's how it is. So I guess we can't be afraid of pain and suffering. Suffering is optional. Suffering is optional, like they say. Pain is there. It's a part of life, but suffering is optional. You could choose to, like how I did in my past, is drown in it or let it kick your ass over and over, or see it for what it is, an opportunity for growth, for change, to become something else, something higher, something better. And to keep moving forward, to keep moving forward. Um, let's see what else. I know I sound like a broken record, but exercise is a beautiful thing too, man. Working out for me is it throws me in a positive state. It fills the body with all sorts of hormones and dopamines and all those things that throw you in a positive state. Um, so those are the things that help me, I guess. Reading, working out, gratitude. And one thing about with the gratitude, I guess, a little going a little bit off of this friend from Guadalajara. He a few years ago, he told me, he said, when I want to change my state, what I do is I do something for someone else. I do something for someone else, whether it be a small thing, just an act of selflessness. And I could be in the shittiest of moods, and just by doing that, it changes my perspective. It changes me into a positive energy. And that's very true. I mean, I could be in a shitty mood and I'll help somebody even if it's by washing dishes, and it changes my perspective. You click to a higher vibration. You know what I mean? And that's something that we could apply whenever necessary. It's a good tool. And I guess those things, gratitude, reading, throwing positive things in the mind, because the world kind of is launching shit at you all day long. We're in the age of information, and it's bombarding us with things. I mean, that's how it is. It's information is everywhere. It's out there. So you gotta kind of throw your own information in there too. Your information of what the fuck you want, what you want to be, what the reality that you want to express or live or experience is what you need to be throwing inside that mind, inside it daily, right? Um, to be a conscious creator, not like an unconscious person that is getting his reality created by outside things, and taking action. So yeah, I guess I can't think of much right now, but I guess we'll leave it there. Acceptance, the first thing, acceptance. Assuming responsibility. Um, changing the internal dialogue, the self-image, and taking action. Taking action is how you kind of they're tools. They're tools that could help you move forward and move past wherever you may find yourself. Right, like me. Right. Um, and I guess later on I'll go into similar subjects or other areas, right? Other topics. But for now, I hope this helps. Um, and well, I guess we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I hope I hope you embrace change, right? I hope you embrace change and move forward. Move forward. Um, and evolve. So stay strong wherever you are. Keep your head up and keep going. Keep moving forward. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and you have a good one.